Hello, and welcome back to Wild Sanative. This is the Path of Wholeness, a journey of healing, awareness, nature, emotional truth, and returning to the self. In the last video, we explored what wholeness really means. Not perfection, not pretending, not becoming someone untouched by life, but returning to all of who we are with compassion, honesty, and presence. Today, I want to talk about one of the most important parts of that return, learning to listen within. Because before we can truly heal, we have to learn how to hear ourselves again. And for many of us, that is not easy. We live in a world that is loud. There are voices everywhere telling us who to be, what to want, what to believe, how to grieve, how to move forward, and even how long we are allowed to hurt. But grief does not follow a schedule. Healing does not move according to anyone else's comfort. And sometimes the deepest pain is not only the loss itself, it's the loneliness that follows. After my son passed away during the height of my grief, I found myself in a place I can only describe as unbearable restlessness. It was not just sadness, it was a deep ache in my body, my heart, and my spirit. I was depressed, I was deeply unhappy. There was a hole in my heart that nothing could reach. Life would never be the same, and some part of me knew that. I felt disconnected from family, I felt lonely, invisible, and almost desperate for peace. And one thing I learned during that time is that everyone grieves differently. Grief changes people, it reveals people, and sometimes grief divides people. The compassion, love, empathy, or understanding we imagine what will be offered freely in our most painful moments is not always there. Sometimes people do not know how to show up. Sometimes they are lost in their own pain. Sometimes your grief makes others uncomfortable. And sometimes in the moment when you most need to be held, you feel completely alone. So I began going to the park. I would bring a cloth and lay it down on the ground. I would sit beneath the tree and lean my back against its trunk. I would bring water, peanuts to feed the squirrels, and my journal. That journal became a place where I could release what I did not know how to say out loud. My thoughts, my prayers, my confusion, my anger, my love, my sorrow. There were days I did not have any answers. There were days when I did not feel strong. There were days when I was sitting under that tree. That was all I could do. But somehow being there gave me a small thread of peace. The earth beneath me, the tree behind me, the water beside me, the squirrels coming close, the pages holding what my heart could not speak. Nature did not ask me to be okay. The tree did not need me to explain my grief. The earth did not rush me, and in that space something in me could breathe. Not fully, not all at once, but enough to get through the day. And sometimes that is what healing looks like. Not a breakthrough, not a sudden transformation. Sometimes healing is finding one place where your nervous system can soften for a moment. One place where you can lay your burden down. One place where you can begin to heal yourself again. That was one of the ways I began learning to listen within. Not because I was peaceful, but because I was not. Not because I had clarity, but because I was desperate for it. Not because I knew what I was doing, but because some part of my soul was still reaching for life. And I think that is important to say. Sometimes the path begins in desperation. Sometimes it begins when pain becomes so loud that we finally have to sit still and listen. For many of us, we spend years looking outside ourselves for direction. We ask questions like, what will people think? What should I do? How should I feel? How do I survive this? But the Path of Wholeness asks us to return to a deeper question. What is true inside of me? What am I actually feeling? What does my body need? What is my heart trying to release? What part of me has been waiting to be heard? At first, listening within can feel uncomfortable, because when we get quiet, we may hear things we have been trying not to hear. We may feel grief we have been carrying for years. We may notice exhaustion we kept pushing through. We may realize that we have felt alone for a very long time. But this is not failure, this is awakening. Awakening is not always bright and beautiful in the beginning. Sometimes awakening begins with honesty, with tears, with sitting beneath a tree because you do not know where else to go. With writing one sentence in a journal: I am hurting. I do not know how to do this. Please help me. I need peace. I need to find my way back to myself. Those moments matter because the soul does not need perfect words. It needs truth. And when we begin telling the truth, even quietly, we begin opening a doorway back to the body, back to the heart, back to the spirit, back to the part of us that still knows how to heal. Listening within does not mean we have all the answers. It means we stop abandoning ourselves in the question. It means we stop judging ourselves for feeling what we feel. It means we stop forcing our grief or healing to look acceptable to others. It means we begin saying, I am here with myself. I may not know what comes next, but I will not leave myself in this pain. And this is why nature is such a powerful companion on the path of wholeness. Nature does not demand that we heal on command. The moon moves through phases, the trees move through seasons, the earth knows cycles, growth, loss, stillness, and renewal. Nothing in nature blooms all the time, and neither do we. Sometimes we are in spring, sometimes we are in winter, sometimes we are in the dark soil where no one can see the healing taking place, but life is still moving there, even when we cannot feel it yet. So today I invite you to begin listening in a simple way. Find a quiet moment, maybe outside if you can, sit near a tree, place your feet on the earth, bring water, bring a journal, or bring nothing but your breath. Place one hand on your heart or your belly. Take a slow breath in, then exhale gently. And ask yourself, what part of me needs my attention today? Then wait. Don't force an answer, just notice. Maybe a feeling arises, maybe tears come, maybe one word comes forward, maybe nothing comes at first. And that is okay too. Listening is a relationship. It grows with patience. The more often you show up, the more your inner world begins to trust that you truly are there. The path of wholeness is not about having all the answers. It is about becoming present enough to receive the next true step. Not the whole map, just the next breath, the next honest moment, the next act of love towards yourself. Thank you for walking this path with me. Welcome back to Wild Sanative. Welcome back to the path of wholeness. And welcome back to yourself. Your soul has been speaking all along. Healing begins when you become quiet enough to listen.